Hello, this is Pigsy. So a few things. As you see, I'm wearing something here. I've made this little pendant. I've used a test tube. I've got some plastic ones at home, so I put Orgone in it, and so I put some precious stones in it, and it's got some chromium oxide in it, which is quite nice, some green, some coppers in it as well. Yeah, so just put that in, and some gold. Actually, I think it's a bit gold. So it's definitely feel some stuff going on. Feel different, and yeah, it's quite good because it will sit where your heart is. I'm going to play around with some other ones as well. So you can place it on other parts of your body. Depends what you've got, what you hang it on. You know, I could hang it on where this thing is. So you can have it in your car as swinging around. It's quite warm in here. It's warming up. So yeah, Orgone pendant. So I'm going to look at that. That's probably my little project. So I'm going to shove that in my shop. And what else is going on? The Russian stuff, that's quite interesting. It's going to take ages going along, trying to create the evidence, possibly, to push the narrative. You can't put sanctions on Russia because the whole of Russia's not responsible. And basically, the crime isn't solved. There's no actual perpetrators being found, you know? You'd have somebody responsible. I mean, I'm not saying the guy killed himself, he could have. Maybe released some sort of nerve agent, and he was told to, but I don't think he would hurt his daughter. Was it strong enough to... Well, maybe he was told it's something else. We let this off and we'll pay you some money. We need to stage a situation, and we'll wire it to your bank after it's all dealt with. I don't know, I haven't been following the news too closely to know if he's still alive. Only that it's a nerve agent, and they're saying it's come from the Russians. But how did they get it in the country? I mean, we're pretty tight on stuff like that. I do check mail comes in from foreign countries. I know this because when you get stuff, you'll find it's slightly ripped open, and they've stuck some like something like a telescope type device in there, or stuff to sort of check inside it. Check it's not drugs and things like that. So how easy is it to make a nerve agent? That's a good question. It's just not enough information. This particular agent, is it easily detected? Could anyone buy it on the internet and get it through the country? Could I get a courier to send it through to me? How easy is it to get industrial chemicals into the country? So these things I could explore, have a little look. You know, could I order the chemicals that would make it? I'd probably have the old bill knocking on my door, thinking, well, you could buy these chemicals, or even just to view it. If I just viewed them, there's a lot of things you can get from online. I really doubt you can get the chemicals to make a nerve agent. And then, was it made in the UK, or did he buy it as a set of nerve agent? So there's going to be some sort of trace to where it got to. How did it get to the agent? So, was the agent staying in the town, for instance? I mean, it could have been hidden in something else. Like it's sealed up in a different container. Or if it's chemically made, then there's some place to make it that needs to be identified. So there's a whole mystery there, and then there's a perpetrator. You need to catch somebody who has a dual nationality as a Russian, or it's a mercenary who claims he was paid by Russians to do it, a special type of hitman, or something like that. You need to have a person who actually committed the crime. The having probable cause isn't enough, and the circumstances don't make any sense. If Russia really wanted to deal with a problem, they would deal with it in their own country, not waiting to send a person off unless he had a tracker in them or something to try to find out, information. I mean, even the spy would know that. The spy would know, well, they're not going to let me go because I'm too valuable. It's a bit like Edward Snowden. If he went over to the US, I don't think he'd ever come out. I mean, what's he done? Leaked national secrets. But how many people have got killed from that? It caused a stir up, yeah. That's no different than sort of Donald Trump coming to power, or InfoWars. I mean, did they cause a national security issue, or is anything they've done criminal? So even though people might not agree with what he'd done, he made the Joe public aware of circumstances around online data and the illusion of an enemy, when they always think the enemy's within. And the reason that is because often that's where they come from. Victims of crime, they're people they know, they're family members that have caused it to them. There's then that web. Someone wants to damage the country, it's likely to be a person from the country that goes out and seeks out a problem elsewhere. I mean, same with the Nazis and the rise of power. They were it was a case of create the circumstances and then find the person that's willing to take the causes and basically turn them to reality, and then start funding them, and supporting them, and feeding them. I mean, hasn't that happened with like the Taliban and stuff like that? So they're the internal factors that affect the external factors. So that's the secret of the world, is that your enemies to any country tend to be internal. As a result, citizens of a country are the biggest threat when it comes to data warfare and public opinion. They vote for people, they blog things on social media, they create ripples and waves, things that could cause a lot of damage externally to the country. So it's a lot of finger pointing, and it does tick me off a little bit. I mean, I don't really know the ins and outs of Russia. I'm sure they're like anywhere else. They have their own value system. They're family orientated. They have a lot of national pride. It's not really a lot of difference between anywhere else. But what we've got is other factors as well, like Putin's been voted back in. So we could say that all this stuff to do with the spy was to ensure that Putin got voted back in, because in a situation dangerous way to drive. Where at a time you need a strong leader, you will seek the person willing to do what's necessary. It doesn't have to be. This is another thing that came out of the Nazi stuff. Same with IRA, everything else. There was these strong people saying, "Okay, look, we'll get the problem solved, but we're going to do it really in a dirty manner. We're going to use guns. We're going we're going to push these type of people out. These people are the ones who create issues, which they might do. Some, like whatever they might be, these people might be, because they don't want to settle in and stuff like that. So they vote for that type of person. I mean, so the same with Trump, like I say, same with Sinn Féin and what happened there in the past. I mean, I'm not saying in the current, so don't want to sort of like set somebody off who's quite proud nationally. I just think the circumstances edged on to have a bit more of someone who's a bit more extreme or less tolerant of other groups, because the people that are voting in are fed up. They've lost their tolerance of a system that's not working. I mean, for Trump, he's a businessman, and he cares enough about businesses, and the businesses want to be looked after. They don't want to collapse. See, because the thing is, they want a corporate control system. So when companies fail, they could be in essence taken over by the banks or under their control. Other legislation comes in place, things that can control these groups to financially support the overarching corporate structures that link it to government. And what Trump was offering was an alternative to that. He was saying, let's work together on this one and just increase jobs. Because first he wanted to reduce the national debt, not increase it, because of his business side and possibly keeping him out of some things. I mean, I wouldn't say so ignorant now. He's, like he supports the war arm, because the war arm supports the business arm, so it's in his best interests. And other groups like the banks and Israel and stuff like that is who's offering, who's open to negotiate, who's making the right kind of deals. The people just want to throw fits because their plan's not fitting into a reality. He's less likely to open his arms to them, or open lines of support to them. So it's all interesting stuff. But yeah, without the crime isn't solved yet, so we shouldn't start pointing fingers. It's a bit like if someone uses an American weapon in Syria that's part of a terrorist group, we can automatically assume, like I say, well, America's done that because they got their weapons, or they got the explosives, or whatever, or a different country, like Russia, could say AK-47, right? It's got to be a Russian misuse of power. So yeah, anyway, please sign off and speak to you soon.